Ciao amigos, Miki Maneswar, and yeah, I learned a new language just to make intro of my video. The improve my content quality. See, you already know what I'm gonna do. You have already read the caption and stuff, so let me just get right into the points. So let me start with the first one. This is the this thought came like a week ago when I was reading about batteries and how important they are for development of humans and how it is like a major field in hardware field of computing and in general technology sciences and including chemistry that I don't like much. So digestive system type battery, dreams are just a screensaver. So the second part, dreams are just screensavers, comes from the paper or article that I was reading of Josh Back. Of course, he's kind of working on dreams and all and trying to theorize it for computer people with respect to consciousness stuff. So point is, I just kind of looked the way it works in human and the way it has been implemented by the evolution. You know how much I respect evolution. So what evolution has been doing is how it has designed its battery system. Like we are a machine and there is a battery that makes us work, make us function. So it has designed its battery way different than humans are working on batteries now. Like for our battery that we have in our phones and all, we have to charge it, and the energy that we give to the battery is in the form that battery can accept. The phone or the device itself is not doing anything to convert that energy into a form that it works upon. But when it comes to human body, as much as biology I know and as much as evolution I know, from let's say from primates only, it has been going like that. We get our energy source in a very different form. Let's say we eat some food, we eat meat, we eat vegetables, and then our body, the device itself, converts that into a form that it can utilize ATP. I don't know anything else but this is the basic functionality, but it does not happen with battery. There's a lot of profits of it if you see with respect to evolutionary reasons. And when I read a bit more about this digestive tract and I got to know why people usually feel sleepy after having their afternoon snack or afternoon lunch or even after eating something heavy like dinner or something. So obviously when we sleep, then our body does a lot of digestion and assimilation and stuff. I'm not gonna go what does that mean, I guess you know. So point being is, so it's like our body is doing a very extensive task at the time when we are sleeping, except for the mind part. I'm talking about the body part. I'm not going to the the controller of this device. I'm talking about device itself. So what our body does is it sends our mind into a screensaver mode, that is dreams that we see, and then body processes the food or converts that food into a form of energy that our body actually uses, our body, our brain and everything. And while it is on going on, then our consciousness needs something because whole day it has been feeding on something, on some information or something. So it gives it a screensaver, like we set a screensaver on our monitors. That's what it does. So that is just another thought that I have been had in this long, and I think it's interesting. I know it can be very deeply worked upon in a paper or something can be written on it. Now coming to the second point, let me read it. Learn from history, don't repeat it completely, evolve. Yeah. So this again came from 2-3 days ago when I'm studying about world history in something because I had to study the European history, and when I read one part of the story history, and obviously I don't have any expertise or any future in it, as I see myself having no future in history field. That's why I see all of it as a story. So it's like when I saw the European history, then I just saw the second part of the movie, where is the first part of the movie, and I saw the first part of the movie, that is American history, and I saw the third part of the history, that is colony history, that is India history, of course, because India was a colony of British and they got free. So it's like that. In 1600, in basically 1700, America got free. In 1800, Europe got free. In 1900, colonies got free. So I don't know, it's 19th century, 20th century, it is all very confusing. They call 1800 years as 19th century. I don't know why I do that, but again array starts from zero, so cannot say anything to them. So that's what they are doing. What I have seen is what has been done, and why France is like wise one. American history had given already a lot of information, a lot of theories of liberty and all to, not American Revolution, the philosophers have given a lot of things to the French revolutionaries. But what they did initially, of course, they applied it as it is, like they just took all the information and knowledge and tried to apply it, and again it failed, of course. And then what they did, they took the concepts, as I had been saying in the Madhusudan video, in various forms. They took the concept, they took the core concept of liberty and all, and they applied it, or they used it in a form that's suitable. Like, you know, they're not just copying from, like, there's a quotation that history repeats itself and all that, but I think there should be, remember, history repeats itself in an evolved form. That would be the complete quotation. So if history is just repeating itself, and if you are repeating just what you have done, again you are just a foolish person. What was the problem there was, I know it's very weird me talking about history. There was a time I used to talk about physics, but yeah, it's all about logic. So France, first of all, as always, tried to just imitate all of those things and do as America did, but again it failed, because of course they were not getting the core concepts and making it in the form that was required. But again, after a while they did. I'm not going to go into specification 1815 blah 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 blah. I don't think I am that much eligible to talk about it. Then same with India also. India also first tried to just completely imitate America or France and all, because they got free earlier. Again they failed, but they again tried with improvised or evolved version of the history, and again that they won, or that they are free right now. And one thing that I can learn from this is actually history, that don't just copy your history, or just don't learn from your past. Learn from your past, but of course the implementation of it will be way different than past, even if it is just one year of gap. If you did some mistake 1 year ago, and again you have did that mistake somehow, some way, then just don't copy that solution and use it here. You just get to the core concept of that solution and then use it here in the form it can be used. Yeah, now coming to a bit philosophical side, I have not ordered these points into any order, because I don't think they were making any sense to order. So yeah, coming to the philosophical point, dream of inventing things, not improving things. So there's difference between improvements and invention. I have seen this because in this recent times, and by recent times I mean around 1.5 or 2 months ago, when I'm going through the way the way science has been improving in this. By science I mean technology also in some way, by which science and technology have been improving these days. So many people are actually just focusing on improving a field. I'm not saying it's not important, I'm not saying it's not that big. I know it's stupid to say, because reality depends upon perception. If you are doing something very small with all of your efforts, it's big. But for example, when you're going to AI and doing something like let's say you're working in NLP and you are doing and you invented a way to make natural language even more easier and efficient to process, but you had just done a small part. I'm not saying it's not important, again it is, but don't dream of that, just doing that. I'm talking about dreaming, not actually doing, because everyone actually does a small part. Einstein did not do a whole revolutionary thing. Many people will kill me. He did only a small part, but that small part is very integral to the whole evolutionary thing, revolution. And so the point is, don't just focus or dream of at least doing a small thing. Like many people are going, a huge chunk of people are going in AI to improve it, but none are like, or very few are going to fields like artificial consciousness, my field, to invent or to make something new, or to like start from the bottom, or starting something from beginning. So and not just talking about my field, in some other field also I've seen people are trying to improve batteries. No one is thinking out of the box and trying to make a new invention in the way batteries are being seen. And with respect to, similar to happen with transportation a while ago, people were seeing and were like working hard to improve train system, improve transportation on land and water, but this out of the box thinking and this sudden thing came upon that we can fly also. Then, like, you know how big improvement it was. Same goes with quantum computers, same goes with AI and AC. There are a lot of examples you can say, but I guess I won't be good when it comes to examples of physics these days. Yeah, so this is the second thought, that try to invent things, not to go to improvement of a specific stream or a specific subset of a specific field. Yeah, don't be a specific learner, be the master key. I know it is very controversial and kind of opposite to what Madhusudan says, but again Maneswar is kind of opposite to what Madhusudan does, at least again for me. I call or refer myself as a logical dominant person. So for me, emotion or something, or wisdom is something very hard to understand, and I guess I have seen it in general humans also. It is very hard thing to get compared to logic and intellect. So again, I have said there in various forms, not I, Madhusudan, but this body different persona. Point is, I have said there that try to have coherent sources and don't jump from point to point. But when it comes to intellect and when it comes to knowledge and also seeing the way our brain has been designed or mind has been designed to do the creative work, I think it will be good if you jump from things to things, and like not to jump properly but make yourself eligible to jump. Like don't be that person who can just study from one teacher. That is the base thought. I have seen various students in my life, and I can say I myself was that person a while ago, that I like if a teacher explains this topic then only I will get it. If some different teacher explains this topic I won't get it. Like it's like only a teacher knows how to open me. I know that's not a good thing to say given that I have niqab also, but yeah, that is the thing. I could understand a topic only when a specific teacher is explained. Point being, I can only get energy or get a thing when it's coming from a specific source. Don't be that person. Try to make yourself master key, or like you can get any lock open, like you can get knowledge from any source. Like try to make yourself that versatile, that efficient when it comes to absorbing or taking inputs or gaining knowledge. Make your mind, make your way of learning that in that sense that you can learn from anything. It does not matter it comes from this teacher or that teacher, it comes from YouTube or a professional course on Udemy. You should be very diverse in this, and the more diverse you become, the faster you will learn. Again, I know like I'll just pay here and get it, or I'll just watch a YouTube playlist and learn, but again you will miss on creativity on this, because as I've said, our mind used to work in a very different way when it comes to creativity. So if you learn from different people, you might get different perspectives as well along with their core concept that they are teaching, and when you get different perspectives, your mind has been evolved to form and see patterns and make new patterns, and voila, you might, like the two teachers who might not know who might have not known in each other in this world, given that YouTube exists, you might gain knowledge from both the teachers, one from, let's say, Patna Bihar Khan sir, I tribute to him, and one from Grant Sanderson, MIT, one that teaches 3 Blue 1 Brown. I love both of them equally, so I can just take from him and him. I guess Sanderson never watches Khan sir video because he does not know Hindi or Bhojpuri, and same goes vice versa also, but I can learn from both given my language. I have a specific kind of language, I have good amount of knowledge in Bhojpuri and Hindi, and I can just combine, or my mind is more creative when I learn from these two very diverse or very different kind of people. So this will help in your creativity also. Just that's the point. Don't be specific that I can learn only from teachers like Grant Students, and I can only learn from teachers like Khan sir, or I can only learn from some specific teacher in some specific way. I'm this type of learner, I'm that type of learner. Choose one majority, like I'm majorly this type of learner, but I can also work with that. Next point, I know I'm kind of going dark here because of the lighting. I'll record the next video of Madhusudan somewhere else. Next point, I'm kind of going into Madhusudan zone of talking and feel, but yeah, that's how it is. After Maneswar you come to Madhusudan. Being completely illogical is very logical. Juxtaposition. It is very logical thing to be illogical, because as you might have known about juxtaposition basically means in my language that popping or jumping from anywhere to anywhere, like zuk kind of stuff. So it's like you are thinking about a theory, about a concept in a specific manner, like let's say this human and battery thing that I talked initially. So humans sleep and then they digest food, and then they digest food, and it must have came from, like there's a pattern I'm thinking in a logical, in a sensible way, but again it makes completely sense to like just completely jump from it to somewhere else, like and in all of between, it's like no, I have to start from beginning. Like this kind of thing is a very logical thing to do, completely illogical things, because juxtaposition exists, and again when if you want to read about human mind and how it works, you'll get it. Okay, so the sun went down and now I have to record somewhere else because the light was not that much. You can get to know that by the darkness you can see in my videos in the end. Okay, so coming to the next point, be decentral to truly go beyond your boundaries. And I know I have said this many times with respect to Madhusudan and as Madhusudan, but this time I specifically want to point it out with respect to Maneswar. And when it comes to the FD and stuff, then I know the sacrifice or the thing that we have to do at end of spirituality for enlightenment is giving up your intellect as well, but within intellect also you are required to give up the specific amount of knowledge that you have, or the specific power you have. Like truly be decentral. By that I mean you're not required to fixate yourself on some specific ability of yours, like as I said in the earlier videos, like be the master key stuff. So don't fixate that I can learn from this kind of teacher, or I'm this type of learner. Try to be as dynamic as possible within that. And I'm using the word decentral specifically because don't be attached to your knowledge or to your power enough that when you lose it you become so sad. For example, you might be the most intelligent one in the field right now, or you might be the one who is best at programming or maths or whatever you are doing, but there might be a time when you might not be that person. As always, everything has a time to fade, temporary things. So if you are attached to your these kind of intellectual assets, then also you'll be very sad, and you will be at the end of the day, when the gross product will be calculated, you will be not that productive as you can be. So just don't even get attached to the things that you do. There's this quotation, or there's this thing I have once heard from Bhuvan Bam, that until I make the song, it's mine, and after the song is made, it's not mine. So until you gain the knowledge, it's your. After you gain the knowledge, it's not you, it's not your. And I know this you is kind of an latent one, but I hope you can get that. So yeah, that's all for this video, and a plus though, that means see you soon. I'm learning new languages.